Understand? You don't understand? Huh? अभी तो उधर रात है क्या? अभी तो उधर तो रात है.
In Brazil now it's night time.
हाँ. इति पुंसार पिता विष्णु भक्तिश्चेत नवलक्षणा. पुंसार पिता को क्या बताता?
So punsar pita means what? You're not listening. That's why you're going here and there. You're going away. You're not listening. If you don't listen Harikatha, how possible Bhakti will come? Your mind will be disturbed. Your dhaba, your restaurant also will not be good. Nothing will be good if you don't listen Harikatha. If you haven't listened to Harikatha, here will not be good. In your spiritual life also not there in your material life. Because Anadi Govinda Prabhu is running a restaurant. So Gurudev is talking to him. This is true or not? So if you're disturbed, like distracted from Harikatha, if you're not listening Harikatha, then you should understand you're not here nor there, like you cannot do anything properly. So Harikatha is our life. Harikatha is our jiva in our life. Understand? People don't understand this. So what I was telling yesterday. Iti Punsarpita Vishnu. Punsa Arpita. When I say Punsarpita means? Punsarpita means the conditioned souls. Like the jivas, but with jiva, the conditioned souls. This Punsarpita, this word Punsa, Purush, cannot be to mention about the Mukta jivas, because the liberated souls, they already are surrendered to Lord. The Mukta jivas, they are surrendered to Lord. So why tell this about them? So when we say Punsarpita, Punsarpita. Pum means Purush. So the only male jivas. So what about the Stri jivas, the female jivas? They will not do bhajan because Purusha also means male. Purusha means enjoyer, means conditioned soul. Gurudev is explaining, but Purusha also means male in a general meaning. So Gurudev is saying Purusha don't only mean not only male, means all the jivas who have body in the conditioned stage. The baddha jivas, they are called Purush, Pumsa. Because when the jivas in Maya, that time, naturally, they have the Purusha Bhiman. What is Purusha Bhiman? What is the meaning of Purusha Bhiman? So false bodily conception. This is Purusha Bhiman. You think you're the enjoyer. You have the false bodily conception. So Mitta Dehabhiman, until you have this false bodily conception, this will last until the jiva hasn't been delivered. So actually, even the Mukta jiva, liberated souls, if they're in this material world, Maya is so powerful that even the Mukta jiva can somehow be baddha, be bounded by Maya in this material world, even a liberated soul. Because Maya is so powerful. So, you know, when you put in your nail some like she's clinging onto us. So Maya is very powerful. Providence is very powerful. The jiva is so infinite, so minute, small, that Maya is like, how to say, clinging, like so much tight on us in this material world. So, yesterday for a long time, for 1 hour yesterday, we were discussing
श्रवणम कीर्तन विष्णु स्मरणम पाद सेवनम अर्चन बदन दास सप्कात्म निवेदनम ईदे पुंसार्पिता विष्णु भक्ति चेत नवलक्षणा कृते भगवती अद्धा तन्मन्ने अधित उत्तमम. भगवान में तब साक्षात अनुभव होता है.
So,
इस कथा को सुन करके,
listening to this katha,
बालक प्रहलाद के मुख से,
when he heard from the mouth of Prahlada these words, Hiranyakashipu was so angry. Then he started trembling. His lips also trembling because he was so angry. And then immediately he called the sons of the Guru and he told them, what did he say? Hiranyakashipu told, oh Brahmabandhu. Brahmabandhu means what I told yesterday. Do you remember what I told? Brahmabandhu. Brahmabandhu is a fallen Brahmana.
Brahmabandhu kim etatte vipaksha swayata samata
Hiranyakashipu told. Verse 26. Most fallen son of a Brahmana, you have disobeyed my order and taken shelter of the party of my enemies. You have taught this poor boy about devotional service. What is this nonsense? Hiranyakashipu was so angry. This is an interesting word. He spoke well. Brahma Bandhu. Fallen Brahmana. So fallen Brahmana is a Brahmana who is not following the Brahmana duties of the Brahmana. So he's a fallen Brahmana, also called Brahma Bandhu. So the 6 dharmas, 6 activities of the Brahmana. Jojan, Jajan, doing 5 sacrifice, worshipping the deity and doing it for others, to teach the Vedas, study the Vedas, take donation, give donation. If Brahmanas don't do this, if the Brahmana is drinking alcohol, for example, or eating fish or meat, or not eating like meat, not following the pure behavior, this Brahmana is called a fallen Brahmana. Which kind? Fallen Brahmana, Patit Brahmana. It's called also a Brahma Bandhu. If you listen, the name looks nice, not Bandhu. Like a Bandhu, Bandhu means like a friend. Brahma Bandhu, the friend of Brahma. No, actually, the meaning is a fallen Brahman.
इस जगत में ऐसे बहुत से छद्मवेशधारी धारण करने वाले दुष्ट स्वभाव धोखेबाज लोग हैं जो मित्र बन जाते हैं परंतु कालवश उसे कार्य से जो है उसे
In due course of time, various types of diseases are manifest in those who are sinful. Similarly, in this world, there are many deceptive friends in false garbs, but eventually, because of their false behavior, their actual entity becomes manifest. So the sin can never be hidden, and the ocean can also never dry up. The ocean will never dry up. The ocean has so much water. In the same way, the sinful activities, if somebody performs sinful activities, he'll try to hide them. What is the meaning of those sinful activities hiding? Like if you're doing something bad,
some person who committed offense in hidden way.
So the one person committing offense is hidden way, and other people don't know. But the sin, on its own, it will give the results. This sin manifests in which form? Those who are doing sinful activities hiddenly, how does the sin manifest? How can people know that the person is sinning if the person is trying to hide? By many kinds of diseases that will come to that person and sufferings. So why people have sufferings and diseases? Many reasons. Because of sins. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur tell this. But also not all diseases come from sinful activities. Try to understand. In the book Chaitanya Shikshamrita it's written. Some diseases, they come from sinful activities. And some diseases, they come from how? Prakrita Karan, like some material reason. Suppose it's too cold weather, then you have some cold, some fever, but it's not because of sinful activities. It's just because of the climate, and nature. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains. The person has some cold, some fever. This is a disease. So it's because of the sin. But actually no. So here is saying that the sin can never be hidden. Because even a person tries to sin hiddenly, later this will manifest in the form of some disease. For example, suppose you are drinking alcohol hiddenly, okay? Nobody knows you're drinking alcohol. Then what will happen? Slowly, slowly you have some liver cancer and everybody will see. Or if you're smoking cigarettes hiddenly, then you get cancer in your lungs, some cancer in the chest. So many kinds of sins, they will show out on the shape of diseases, or also prarabdha karma coming from previous lives. So also get sufferings and disease because of previous karmas. But if you say the devotees also show so many diseases and sufferings, then but in the glories of the holy names explains that in the sixth canto of the Bhagavatam, we saw that Ajamil, he gave to his son the name Narayan. That day he gave to his son the name Narayan. From that day, all his sins were already destroyed. So this so glorious is the holy name. That day he called his son. From that day exactly already all his sins were destroyed. So prarabdha, kuta, bij, even the desire to sin is destroyed. So this one namabhas, semblance of holy names. The prarabdha, aprarabdha, all the karmas, all the sins, they are destroyed with the namabhas, semblance of holy names. In the same way, just like, imagine, cotton, rui means cotton. If there's a spark of a fire in the middle of a bunch of cotton, very quickly all this cotton will be turned to ashes by the fire very quickly. In the same way, when you chant holy names, you get prema if you chant Shuddhanam. But if you chant Namabhasa, semblance of holy names, the papas from thousands, billions, unlimited lives are destroyed. So the glories of holy names, but you must chant Namabhas, semblance of holy names.
The semblance of the holy names.
All your sins are destroyed. Not even one is left. Like all the sins are really destroyed. All of them. That, like one holy name can destroy so many sins that actually a sinner person cannot even sin more than one holy name can already purify. So we see, those who are not doing bhajan, okay, they are suffering sinful activities, okay. But the devotees also, they become sick. They also become sick, devotees, don't they? What disease do you have? You have some disease. You have disease in your mind. Manorog, mind disease. Understand? So the mind disease, so all the diseases, they have medicine, like some cure, some treatment. But the disease of your mind, you cannot find medicine in the pharmacy. You cannot find the medicine to the mind disease. What is the disease, the cure to the disease of your mind? Listen, Harikatha. Harinam and Harikatha. Think about God. There's not any other medicine to cure the disease of your mind. Only thinking about God. Holy names and Harikatha. So, one namabhasa, semblance of holy names, destroys so many sins, turn to ashes all the sins. You will not even have any tendency to sin anymore. Actually, we are chanting always Namaparadhan, but sometimes maybe some Namabhas. Okay, but the bhaktas, the devotees also, they have rog and shok, like diseases and sufferings. Those who are doing bhajan.
क्या होता है बताओ कारण
So what is the reason behind this?
इसी को तो जानना पड़ेगा ना
You must know
तुम्हें
this.
तो प्रश्न करेंगे
People will ask you this kind of
अरे
things. You
हम भी
should
रोग में
know.
भुगते हैं साधु भी
Ah,
रोग में
we are
भुगते हैं
suffering. The sadhus are also
हम भी दवाई
suffering.
लेते हैं
We
साधु
are
भी
also taking
दवाई भी
medicine.
लेते हैं
Sadhus are also taking
दवाई
medicine.
कौन लेता है जिसको रोग है
So who takes medicine? Those who are
लेता है कि नहीं
sick,
लेता आप बताओ
isn't it?
तो अंतर क्या रहा
So what is the difference between the?
साधु जब के रोग आदि जो है
So the disease of the
ये भगवान
sadhus,
की कृपा समझना चाहिए
they should understand it's mercy of Lord.
भगवान सारे समस्त उसके प्रारब्ध के सब कुछ तो नष्ट कर
Because Bhagavan destroyed all his prarabdha parabdha.
धारण के लिए
He just keeps little bit for them to keep their body.
प्रारब्ध कर्म के ऊपर टिके
Because
रहेंगे
actually the body is maintained by the prarabdha karma. If even our prarabdha karma is destroyed, then our body would also be destroyed. And without body, how can you perform bhajan?
है? इसलिए भगवान क्या करते
That's
हैं
why Bhagavan, what does he do?
जानबूझ करके
Knowingly,
कर्म दे
he
करके
keeps
कर्म
little
दे
bit of
करके
karma fall, fruit of karma, just to keep the body of the devotee.
हैं? आसान
Understand?
यही बड़े चमत्कार हैं
This is something very interesting, amazing.
हैं? और वो प्रारब्ध कर्म के द्वारा क्या करते हैं वो
And by this prarabdha karma, the devotee is
ना भगवान के प्रति आरती
suffering in the body also sometimes. Why? So that he will be more eager to God, either to attain to God and also to be more humble. You should remember that.
भक्त के जो रोग सो किस लिए
So the devotees, they suffer and have diseases. Why?
दीनहीन बनाने के लिए
Because God wants to make them humble.
तो उनके रोग सो दे दे
Sometimes give some suffering to them to make them humble. God.
कहता हाय हाय
Then the devotee will be, oh, in my life I've never did any bhajan. That's why I'm suffering. I have this disease. Why? That's why, because I never did bhajan. I'm suffering. Another reason
उत्कंठा बढ़ाने के
to make the devotee feel increase his eagerness to attain Lord,
है कि नहीं?
isn't it?
सुख में कोई भजन ना करे कोई
Nobody can do bhajan in the happiness, but people remember to God when they are suffering.
सुख के समय कौन भजन करता
Who will do bhajan when they are happy?
जब विपत्ति आपत्ति आए
When some problem comes, then you chant holy names of God.
यही तो
This is true.
अभी ये संत महात्मा की इसलिए भगवान दे देते हैं दो कारण ये
So for two reasons I was telling.
उत्कंठा बढ़ाने
So why the saints also have some disease sometimes, so that they will have the humility in their hearts and also to increase their eagerness to attain to Lord. So utkanta and dinata, to make them more eager, utkanta and dinata, make them humble.
शरीर में
That's why God gives some suffering to their body, some suffering.
अनुग्रह भक्ताना मानुष देव भगवान अनुग्रह करके
So God giving mercy, anugraha, He's giving this some suffering as a mercy.
और भगवान अनुग्रह करके नित्य धाम से जगत
And also God to give mercy to the devotees, He comes from the spiritual world and performs His eternal pastimes in this world. Anugrahaya bhaktanam.
भजति इत्यादि से जा सुत्वा तत्परो भवे ये भगवान कृपा करके वो समस्त
God mercifully, He manifests all these leelas in this world. So if we
प्रत्यक्ष परोक्ष रूप
chant listen about these leelas,
में हो जाओ
and listen about these leelas, glorify these leelas, and we become absorbed. You should be absorbed in the leelas. Absorbed.
बिना और सब कथा क्या है
Actually,
बोले भेद कोलाहल
except for Harikatha, all the other kathas, talks, is bed kolahal. It's like the screaming of a frog. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. So if there was no Harikatha, only other kathas, this is bek kolahal. What is bek kolahal? The screaming of the frog. You know, in the time of the rainy season, the ponds are so full of water. Bek means frog. So the frog is tack, 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 tack. And the snake comes and eats the frog. Because the frog is like screaming and happy screaming. The frog is because the water, but the snake eats it.
उत्तम कथा क्या है ब्रज कथा
So the topmost katha is Braj Katha.
ब्रज कथा श्रवण होनी चाहिए
So we should listen to Braj Katha.
जो नामाभास में ये सब नष्ट हो जाता है
So by Namabhas, everything is destroyed. Prarabdha, aprarabdha, kurta, bij, even the sin, the sinful desire, like pap basana means the desire to sin.
भूत हो जाता
Even this is destroyed, desire to sin.
है
Look,
शक्तिशाली
how powerful is the Namabhas, the semblance of the holy names.
और इसलिए करें भक्त के जो रोग शोक
And the sufferings and diseases that we see in the devotees, they are
ना उनके प्रति आरती उत्पादन करने
to make the devotee more eager to attain to Lord, and also to for the devotee to become humble. So Lord gives a little bit, some fruit of karma, just to keep the body of the devotee. Understand?
इसलिए যত দেখো বৈষ্ণবের ব্যবহার দুঃখ তাকে তাতে জানিও তুমি
Ananda. So if you see some like external suffering in the Vaishnava, understand that actually he's feeling topmost bliss inside. So externally, the Vaishnava may be suffering, like bodily suffer. What is this? It's actually he's feeling happiness inside. So you can see that picture there, the Kushta Vipra Kaudha, the deliverance of the leprosy Brahmana, the Brahmana with leprosy. So there are insects on his body, and when the insects would fall down from his skin, he used to lift them and put again back on his skin. He wouldn't put any medicine on his skin. Generally, we put some medicine, and then the insect will die, if some worm in our body, and you'll be cured from the disease. But this Vasudeva Vipra, this Kushta Vipra, he's called the leprosy Brahmana, the Vasudeva Brahmana. If the insect will fall from his skin, he's like, oh, how will he eat insect? Come back here and put again the insect in his skin, on his skin. He said, Mahabhagavata, we would kill the insect and burn the insect. But Kushta, this Brahmana with leprosy, Vasudev. So he's an Uttam Mahabhagavata. Was he really suffering from that pain of the leprosy? Externally looked like he was suffering, but inside, in his heart, he was feeling ananda, happiness. If he would feel really suffering, he would take out that insect. But isn't it? Tell me. So Bhagavan, sometimes to give mercy, he gives these diseases to make more humble the hearts of the devotee, and also more eager to attain to Lord. And just a little bit, and now you just suffer a little bit this, and next life you already go to the abode of Lord. Like after you die this life, you go to abode of Lord, just like the snake shedding its skin. Another point, for the evil people, in this way God cheats them. So in the same way, the Bhakta Nugraha, giving mercy to the devotees, and Bhakta Vanchana, cheating the non-devotees, because the materialist will say, oh, we do not do bhajan, and also we suffer diseases and suffer so many things. The saints also are also suffering. So what is the difference, and what is the benefits to do spiritual life? But actually these things of the bhaktas, this Indrajalika Lila, this is like a magic trick. So if you see external some suffering, the Vaishnava, understand he's having the topmost bliss inside. Like internally he's feeling bliss. Inside of his heart, he's feeling so much ananda, happiness. So if you chant Nam Abhasa, semblance of holy names. But there's one story in the Mahabharata that when Kauravas and Pandavas, they were fighting for how many days? 18 days, the Kurukshetra war. There was a strong, ferocious fight for 18 days in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Krishna, he was the Sarathi, means he was a charioteer of Arjuna, riding his chariot. So after 18 days, the war was over. Arjuna, he was sitting on the chariot, and Krishna. So Krishna was the charioteer, so he was bringing the chariot back. When Arjuna came in front of his tents where he was camping, Krishna told Arjuna, you go out first quickly from the chariot. Why? Generally every day you come out first from the chariot, because the charioteer is sitting under a warrior, so it's easier that he will come out first. But this day Krishna told, you go out first. Arjuna said, why, Saka, my friend? Every day you go out first from the from the chariot. Why today you tell me to go first? Why me today? Then Bhagavan told, there's a secret behind it, Arjuna. If I go out from the chariot will burn immediately and will be destroyed. How possible? Arjuna was asking. What is the secret? Tell me. Then Bhagavan told, hey Arjuna, Every day I go out before from the chariot. This is true. But before I come out from the chariot, I always keep my garland on the chariot. Where? On the chariot. That's why, because my garland is so powerful, so transcendental, with transcendental potency, my garlands. So the garland doesn't allow the chariot to burn itself. But today the war is over, it's finished. Tomorrow there won't be any fight, any war any longer. So better you come out first, because when I come out from the chariot, immediately the chariot will be destroyed. You'll be burned to ashes by the fire. So saying that, Arjun jumped out from the chariot, and Krishna also came down. Krishna also came down from the chariot. Came down. That day, Krishna, he didn't put his garland on the chariot. So he was with his garland on his neck, and he just came out. So Arjuna saw that immediately the chariot started burning and became ashes. Arjun told, "Oh my Saka, my friend, please tell me the secret behind this. What happened? Why this?" Then Bhagavan told, "Hey Arjun, listen. It's very secret, some confidential matter. Because tomorrow the war will not take place, so the chariot's not necessary. So that's why I'm burning this chariot." So Arjuna said, "I have this Deva Shakti, divine potency." Because for 1 year Arjuna was in the Swarga Loka. So Arjuna got all the powers of the demigods. Potency of the demigods. Dev Shakti, potency of the gods. Arjun, he got so many astra shastras, like weapons and many things from the demigods for the fight. So Arjuna told, "I have all this potency from the gods, these artifacts, and I can make a new chariot." So 18 days I could have made 18 new chariots. But Bhagavan Krishna told, "Hey Arjuna, listen this secret, Tata. If every day you had created like new chariot and became to ashes every day, Kauravas would laugh on us, saying, 'Arjuna, which fight can you fight? Even your own chariot is becoming ashes every day, turning to ashes every day.' So the Kauravas would make fun of us because of this." So Krishna told, "By my Yoga Maya, I have protected your chariot." So today is the end of the 18th day of the war, so we don't need it anymore. So that's why I'm making this chariot become ashes. What is the meaning? What is the meaning? Our body is like a chariot. We are like walking, and we have like the two legs, like two wheels, like the two wheels chariot. England and America, they have even chariot with only one wheel, like a cycle, monocycle, People walk like on a monocycle, monocycle. I don't know if this is proper word. It's like one wheel and people are going on top of one wheel. It's just like a cycle, but like only one wheel. In Europe, other places you can find this. The government even makes one special road for these people to walk on this kind of motorcycles or something. Have you seen this or not? I've seen. So Arjuna is saying, Bhagavan told, "Hey Arjun, if every day I would come out of the chariot but not keeping my garland on the chariot, your chariot would have turned to ashes. But today is the last day, so I mean, the next day when you had to fight, you had to create a new chariot every day. So that's why I have, by my inconceivable potency, I have kept these chariots. If there's no bamboo, won't be any flutes. So the meaning here, this story I told, actually, it's a small story. It's a story with 2-3 lines, not long story. But actually, what is the moral of this story I just told? What is the significance of this story? Our body is like a chariot. The body is like a chariot. And who is staying in this body like chariot? Paramatma. Bhagavan, he is the Rati. He's the... So one thing is Griha and house, and Grihi, the person who is staying in the house. So Rat is the chariot, and Rati, that person who is on the chariot. So Grihi is the person who lives inside the house. Krishna told, today is the last day of the war, so we don't need the chariot any longer. So I will come out from the chariot, but I'll also bring the garland that I was keeping before in the chariot, and you'll see that the chariot will be turned to ashes. So in the same way, Bhagavan, he gives little bit of the prarabdha karma of the devotee. Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad, in the explanation of Madhurya Kadambini, he explains it. Like suppose you got 50, do you have any land that you plant some crop? So you got 50 man, I don't know exactly how many kilos it is, but suppose you got 100, I don't know, sorry, kilos of wheat seeds, but you keep only 1 or 2, one part of it, the small portion you keep so that you can sow in the next year, you know. So you got many seeds from your crop, from your harvest. Some will sell, but you'll keep some of this wheat to sow in the next year. So in the same way also, Krishna gives a little bit of the karma so that we can keep the body to perform bhajan. But later it will be destroyed also. So this is the Jivan Chakra, the cycle of our life. So God keeps our body. Why? So that we are able to perform bhajan. And give some suffering to us to increase our eagerness. There's no any other reason why He does that. And also another point I told about why the Mahabhagavata suffers and have diseases also. This is Indrajalika Lila, like a magic trick. Actually, he's not suffering anything at all. Just to, like, the Mahabhagavata looks like they are like a normal jivas. But this is only to give mercy to others and also to cheat the non-devotees and give mercy to the devotees. Those who are non-devotees, he's not a saint at all. He's not a saint. Look, he got cancer. He had coronavirus. He had the pandemic. He also got infected by coronavirus. So those asura bhav people with demoniac nature, to cheat these people, God creates these leelas with His devotees, then these demoniac devotees will not come close to the saints. But the devotees, they will serve the saints in this situation. So, in this way, the devotees accept the service of the devotees. Like the story of Madhavendra Puripad, you know. Madhavendra Puripad, when he was in old age, he couldn't even walk. He was passing stooling, like, you know, without control. Without control, he was passing stooling. Without self-control. So on the bed, he was passing stooling on the bed, in his own bed. And then Ishwara Puri served him, cleaning his urine, feces, and washing his body, all this. He was to do or not? Yes. Look. So to this kind of devotee, they are getting this mercy. That's why, you see, Ishwari Puripad got all the wealth of Madhavendra Puripad. Madhavendra gave everything to him. But he had also another disciple, Madhavendra Puripad. Who? Ramachandra Puri. He was thinking, what is this?
उनको वंचना कर दिया।
So in this way he was cheated from
इसलिए
this wealth and service of Madhavendra Puripad. So seeing the sufferings of the devotees or something or some disease, you should never have any doubts about it. You should never doubt it. Understand? You should understand it very well. So they cheating the non-devotees and giving mercy to the devotees. Because seeing their suffering, we can also serve them in a worldly way with some affection, like a family member, like just some affection and serve. There are thousands examples in the Shastra. The two Brahmanas of South India, the senior Brahmana and the young Brahmana. The senior Brahmana, he was ill, and the junior Brahmana served him, and then he was pleased with the junior Brahmana service, and he promised in front of Gopal, I will marry my daughter to you. Young Brahmana told, you are from high type of Brahmana, how can you marry your daughter to me? The Brahmana, the senior Brahmana told, she's my daughter. So my wealth, my daughter, I can give to anyone. You cannot say anything against it. No one else also can object. Do any objection. Then the young Brahmana told, but you don't live alone. There is a society, your family, they won't accept it. Senior Brahmana told, I already gave my word. Okay. So promise in front of Gopal that you'll do that. So he took an oath in front of Gopal. Hey Gopal, become the witness here. He told to Gopal. And then, Gopal, you should be the witness. Which kind of witness? I am promising that I'll give my daughter to him. So when he reached his house, then another thing happened. When he told, immediately all the family, they didn't like. Oh, he's a Brahmana, but he's a low-class Brahmana. How can we marry to them? I mean, how can we marry our daughter to him? So there are many rules in the society as well. So many rules in the Indian society. You cannot marry to anyone you like. There are so many rules in Indian society for the marriage. You have to follow Varnashram Dharma. If you don't follow Varnashram Dharma, how can Vishnu be pleased? You meet anyone and then you just mix and marry to whoever you want. And now everyone is equal like this. No, it's not like that. There's a lecture of Gurudev. He was saying, Indians should marry only Indians. Westerners should marry only Westerners. Should not mix. Stupid nonsense. If you marry, okay, who prohibiting you? Marry, but because, brother, you have to follow the rules, and the providence rules and the scriptures rules like that. Otherwise, the Varnashram Dharma will not be able to exist. And even your Pitrikul, the dynasty, the forefathers of your forefathers will not accept your Pindadan. Isn't it? So this is not like something like some hatred or something like, oh, why not mix? Not because we're against or anything, but this is true. This is Varnashram Dharma. So Srila Guru Govinda Maharaj, read one book of Guru Govinda Maharaj. He's giving heavy chastisement. And one book of also about brahmacharya life. Have to follow that. Because this is Varnashram Dharma also. Although this is not so special in Bhakti, but still,
एक foundation है,
It's the foundation of bhakti.
नहीं तो भजन कैसे हो जाए, है कि नहीं?
Otherwise, how will you be able to perform bhajan?
फिर सोचने लगे मैं इसे इंडियन लड़के की शादी कर
You're
लूं, तो
thinking,
इंडिया में
oh,
रह जाएंगे।
I'll marry with an Indian boy, then I'll be able to live in India. Then, but it's not like that. Yesterday she came or he came, I don't know who.
मिले थे यहाँ पर,
He met or she met me here. Who was it?
वो इंडियन की शादी करके
So she met,
रशिया की थी,
so that Russian girl married the Indian boy, or opposite, sorry, I don't know who's Gurudev talking about. So bhakti is not like that.
है? क्योंकि
Who came? Now I'm curious.
परंपरा तो चलते रहते ना,
Because you have to follow the parampara,
है? ये कोई जरूरी नहीं
traditions.
है
It's not necessary that
भक्त बन गया आपके बेटा भक्त बन जाए,
because you're a devotee, your son will also be a devotee. It's not like that.
भक्त बन गया तो अच्छा ही है,
If your son or daughter is a devotee, it's good.
सोने में सुहाग बन जाए,
This will be like the cherry on top.
क्या तो क्या है,
But if your son is not a devotee, then you're not here nor there. Not here nor there.
ना घर का ना घाट का रहता है,
You're not here and not there also.
और भी खतरनाक हो
It
जाता
will be even more dangerous.
है, समझ में आया?
Do you understand?
यदि बेटा यदि भक्त बन
But
गया
if your son is a devotee,
तो अच्छी बात है,
then it's okay, nice.
हैं? यदि भक्त नहीं बना
But if it's not, he's not,
तो गए सब,
then finish.
अच्छा यदि को
But if you say,
इंडियन से विवाह को
but
करते हैं,
Indians
तो
sometimes
भक्त नहीं होते, उसके
they also marry Indians and also they don't have sons which are devotees. Yeah, this is also possible.
समझ में आया? इसको समझे अच्छी तरह,
Try to understand.
हैं? चलो हम जिस कथा को हम वर्णन करते जा रहे हैं,
So we're discussing
ये नाम प्रभु की ऐसी कृपा,
mercy of
ये
Nama Prabhu.
सारे पाप,
By Nama Bhasa, all the sins are destroyed.
प्रारब्ध अपराब्ध कर्मों, हैं? और क्या?
All the kleshas, all the sins,
नष्ट हो गए।
papa, desire to sin,
नामाभास में
everything is destroyed by Nama Bhasa. Semblance of holy names, it's so powerful.
और भगवान थोड़ी सी हमें प्रारब्ध देकर के शरीर को रखते हैं,
And Bhagavan gives us just little bit prarabdha, karma, just to keep our body,
हम भजन कर सकते हैं,
so that we're able to perform bhajan in the body.
कैसे कहाँ से होगा? हैं? इसे जो कथा सुना है, अर्जुन की कथा कथा सुना दिया, ये शरीर भी रथ है,
So the body is like a chariot,
रथ में आत्मा और परमात्मा दो रथी बैठे
and Atma and Paramatma,
हैं।
they are sitting on this chariot.
इसलिए भगवान कर रहे हैं,
So Bhagavan is saying, hey Arjun,
सुनो इसको,
listen.
जो कहानी छोटी सी कहानी सुनाए,
So I told this small story. What is the meaning?
और भक्त में जो रोग शोक आदि दिखाई
Also, when the
देता है,
devotees
वो
they
कारण कहा जाता है।
show some disease, it's two reasons.
आदि प्रकट करने
So why God gives this like disease? To make them more eager to attain Him, and also another meaning, another
सेवा आदि करके उसके लौकिक सद्बंधु प्रति कर लेते हैं।
is because when he's suffering, then people can serve him with the family mood, like laukik, satbhandu, but priti, with intimacy, like a family member. So I gave the example of Madhavendra Puripad, is such beautiful and sweet katha. Madhavendra Puripad, when he was old age, his body was not walking, he couldn't walk, move. He was passing and stooling on his bed. Then Ishwara Puripada, what did he do? Served him. And in this way, Madhavendra was very happy and gave all his wealth to him before leaving this world. The highest wealth, highest treasure, Krishna Prem done, wealth of Krishna Prem. And he cheated Ramachandra Puri. So, this rog, sok, disease and suffering that we see the devotee, should never doubt or dishonor because of this. Also in the Sanatana Shiksha we saw, Sanatana Goswami, he was going from Vrindavana to Jagannath Puri. And on the way what happened, all his body was overtaken by some itching disease, like some strange skin disease. Kandurasha, I don't know English term. Like some itching and like a strange rash on his skin, like this. In his mind, Sanatana Goswami was thinking, oh, if I come in front of Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu will embrace me. Mahaprabhu will surely embrace me.
सनातन गोस्वामी के बहुत स्नेह आदर
And you know, Mahaprabhu used to love so much love and affection
से विचार करने लगे
for
मेरे
Sanatana
शरीर में जो
Goswami.
कुंडू रसा जो है
So Sanatana Goswami was thinking, now I have this skin rash, very terrible skin rash,
वो महाप्रभु के दिव्य शरीर में
and
लग जाएगा
this will
इसलिए
touch
महाप्रभु के
Mahaprabhu's
सामने नहीं
body.
जाऊंगा।
So I don't want this to happen.
रथ
So
यात्रा
I'll
के
not come
समय
in front of Mahaprabhu.
वह रथ के पहिया में
So when the time of Ratha Yatra, I will give up my body under the wheels of Lord Jagannath
ये
chariots.
चिंतन कर रहे हैं
So he was thinking like this, Sanatana Goswami. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he knows everything.
जान लिया
He knows everything.
सनातन गोस्वामी पास
So when Sanatana Goswami Pad
जगन्नाथपुरी में पहुंचे
reached Jagannath Puri,
महापुरुष के आलिंगन के दौड़ पड़े
Mahaprabhu came running and embraced Sanatana Goswami.
और सनातन से भागने लगे
Sanatana Goswami started running away from Mahaprabhu.
चैतन्य महापुरुष सनातन
And then
उनके आलिंगन
Mahaprabhu caught hold of Sanatana and embraced him.
सनातन गोस्वामी
Sanatana Goswami told, "Hey Prabhu, why did you do that?
कर्म भोग रहा हूँ
I'm suffering my karma, this disease." Mahaprabhu told, "Hey Sanatan,
यदि तुमको मैं आज परसों नहीं करते
if I wouldn't touch you today, if I wouldn't embrace you today,
मुझे कृपा नहीं
Krishna wouldn't give me mercy." You see how Mahaprabhu is so humble.
शरीर जो अपराकित
Mahaprabhu told the body of the Vaishnavas are transcendental, he told to Sanatan.
अपराकित शरीर
Transcendental bodies.
दीक्षा काली शिष्य करे आत्मसमर्पण সেই কালে কৃষ্ণ তারে করে আত্মসমর্পণ সেই দেহ হয় তার চিদানন্দময় অপ্রাকৃত দেহ से कृष्ण भजन অপ্রাকৃত দেহ की तो भगवान भजन होता है
So actually you can do only bhajan of God if you have transcendental body.
जड़ शरीर की तरह भगवत भजन
You cannot do Bhagavat bhajan with material body.
ना मैं भजन कर नहीं
So you say I cannot do bhajan.
क्यों जड़ बुद्धि है
Actually you have jara buddhi, material intelligence.
जब जड़ देह अभिमान चला जाता है
When you give up your material conception, material ego, then your bhajan starts.
इतना ही समझिए
Try to understand this.
भजन बहुत दूर है अभी
Bhajan is something very far. Now we are only doing arup siddha, imposing bhakti. We are thinking that we are doing too much bhajan.
किंतु हम भजन कहाँ करें
Actually, how can we perform bhajan?
अभी तो भजन करने के लिए
Now
प्रयास कर रहे
we are trying to start to perform bhajan. This is true.
हैं भजन तब होगा जब
Bhajan will only take place when
मैं शरीर प्राप्त
we attain the transcendental body.
गोपी गृह में जन्म हो
When we'll be born in the house of a gopi. When we are born in the pastimes of Krishna in this material world. In which universes Lilas are taking place? When we are born there. We have to take birth there.
तब
Then
हम सेवा कर पाएंगे
we'll be able to serve.
अभी जितने भी कहें
Now, whatever we are doing,
अनुभव करके देखिए सब हमारे
you
क्या
can
हो
see, realize and see that actually we are only doing arup siddha, imposing.
रहा है। कहीं कहीं संग सिद्धा भी हो जाता है
Maybe some people already sangha siddha,
तब
but swarupa siddha bhakti only in that other occasion that I explained. Like sangha siddha only, like Gurudev told, no, when you are born in Krishna manifested pastimes like this.
अमर को ने क्या कहा
So Sandhya Marka, what did they reply?
गुरुपुत्र ने कहा हे इंद्र शत्रु हे राजन आपके पुत्र प्रहलाद ने आपको जो कुछ बतलाया है यह न तो हम सिखाया
They told, oh, whatever Prahlada told, actually we didn't teach him those things.
आपको प्रहलाद में जो विष्णु भक्ति दिखाई दे रही है ये तो उनकी जन्मजात और
Actually, when he was born, he already had all these and it's spontaneous in him.
हमारे ऊपर
Therefore, please give up your anger and do not unnecessarily accuse us. It is not good to insult a Brahmana in this way. So Sandhya Marka, they told, look,
अन्नदाता है जगत त्राता
oh Hiranyakashipu, you're giving life, food, everything to us.
ऐसे कहते हैं
You know, when you're afraid of the king, you're like glorifying the king. Hey king, we never taught these things to him.
ये उनके जन्मजात है
From birth, he's having this, like, knowledges.
कुछ लोग के पूर्वजन के संस्कार रहने
Some people, they have so many samskaras from previous lives. Like they start playing the mridanga.
मंत्र भी नहीं जानते वो
They don't even know the mantra, but they play mridanga so well, isn't it? Some people from birth.
कोई हारमोनी बजाते हैं
Even harmonium also.
कहा जाता है जन्मजात
So this is some innate samskara. I see in England, America, so many boys, like inherent, like innate. They will play so well all the instruments. Have you seen or not?
छोटे छोटे बच्चे भी भजन आदि भी करते
Small babies are doing bhajan. I mean, like singing. Gurudev is saying singing. like singing and playing like this very well.
वास्तव में सत्य है
This is true.
चलो यही भी कहते हैं देखो
Okay,
विदेश के जो भक्त जो आते हैं
so
हमारे भारत
the Western devotees,
हमारी खून है
they also are taking this our Indian culture. Yes, okay.
समझ में आ रहा है
Do you understand? Are you understanding?
भारतवासी होने
So we are Indians. Because we are Indians, we were born in India.
की करो
So our life,
पिता पूर्वजों के
our parents,
हमारे पास खून
we have all this
कर रहे हैं
dynasty and all the traditions like this. But the Westerns, they don't have this.
कर रहे हैं
How do they do?
ये आश्चर्य की
So
बात
this is amazing, right?
जरूर पूर्व जन्म की कही
Because they have in previous lives some samskar in previous lives. They have some impressions in previous lives, these Westerners.
कैसे करेंगे
Otherwise, how will they be able to do that?
बेचारी पड़ी है 15 साल पड़ी है वृंदावन में
So she's saying this 15 years in Vrindavana, she's suffering from diseases, so many things, this poor girl.
और कैसे पड़ी है यार
How she's enduring and staying in Vrindavan?
पूर्व जन्म के संस्कार
She has some samskar from previous lives.
हैं हमारे इंडिया में उतने संस्कार नहीं है
The Indians, they don't have so many samskaras like this.
बोलो मठ में रहो भग जाता है
So you talk to Indian person, stay in the temple, the person will run away, doesn't want to stay. I think
संस्कार है धन कमाना का संस्कार है
so they have samskaras to get money. Like I think Gurudev is talking to Anadi Prabhu. We have samskaras to what? To earn money. But like Madhavi Didi, I think Gurudev was talking about her. She has samskaras to stay in Vrindavana.
तो बहुत दूर की बात
Let's see.
है खाना पीना भी नहीं क्या खाते पता नहीं
I don't even know what she's. I don't even know how. Sometimes I become amazed how she's alive. What does she eat? She cannot even eat this food and like this
थोड़ी सी
whole day. She just like a bird. She eats just little bit.
भजन करते
She's doing bhajan.
हैं तो ये इसको
So-
कि भाई देखो
You see,
लक्षण देख करके पता चलता है ना
by the symptoms, by the characteristic, you can see the samskaras, the impressions of different people. Who can stay without samskara from previous lives? Like the samskaras of previous lives, they are very important. So certainly these people, these Westerners, they have samskaras from previous lives. We are Indians, we have so much proud. Oh, I'm Brajavasi, I'm India, I'm this and that. We are proud to say, but you see these Westerners?
इन लोग की भजन देख करके
You see, when I see the bhajan of the Westerners, my heart melts.
जरूर इनके
Certainly, they have some samskar from previous lives, surely. Isn't it?
बिना संस्कार में
Without samskara, who is able to stay here?
चारी तरफ जहाँ पर भोग
Especially in Kali Yuga, all four directions, there are things to enjoy.
विदेश में क्या चारी तरफ आप
Here in India, not so much, but in the Western countries, all the four ways, there's things to enjoy.
करके मांस मदिरा
Alcohol and meat, everything is there for enjoying. Whorehouse, how to say, prostitute places, and
त्याग दे करके वैराग्य
so to give up that and to renounce is not ordinary if you're in the Western country.
हम यहाँ पर जो
Here, we cannot even tolerate the heat. But see,
है कैसे पड़ी रहते मैंने इसको इन लोग के देख करके
so when I see them, I'm thinking, certainly they have some samskar from previous lives.
है कि नहीं नहीं तो
Isn't it? Otherwise, who would be able to do that?
वास्तव ये जो
This
है
is true.
देख करके बताना
I'm seeing and I tell.
इसलिए यहाँ पर भी कह रहे ये राजन
So, hey king, he's saying,
जो विष्णु भक्ति हम ना सिखा
so we didn't teach Prahlada about Vishnu Bhakti.
भी सिखा कुछ नहीं
Nothing.
ये आप अपना आप ही सब कुछ कर रहे हैं
He's automatically doing and telling all these things, like spontaneously.
श्री पूर्वजन के संस्कार
So he has some samskar from previous lives, or
आपने
so here's saying,
जो कुछ भी बताया यह तो अपने सिखा
whatever your son Prahlada has said was not taught to him by me or anyone else.
और न तो उसके कोई और से सिखाया है आप
His spontaneous devotional service has naturally developed in him.
तो उनकी जन्म
Therefore, please give up your anger and do not unnecessarily accuse us.
जन्मदाता और
So this is natural and
देखो
like spontaneous in him. And also from his birth is there. He has this from birth. You see Bhagavat Bhajan from birth.
फिर यदि कहो कुछ लोग भाग जाते
But if you say some people run away and they get married and then
पुनः मुसीका हो जाते
they give up everything and
तो इसके कारण
punamasika bhavo. Why?
अपराध के फल स्वरूप हो जाता
The fruit of offenses.
है तो माया उसको हटा दे
Maya takes away the person.
आ जाएंगे
Understand?
सावधानी से
So I have to stay with careful, like carefully stay.
इसलिए सावधानी
Be careful.
सावधानता हटी हटी
So those who are careful, they prevent themselves from accidents.
दुर्घटना
Those who are careful, they prevent themselves from accidents. So that's why
सावधान से
you should always be careful,
गुरु वैष्णव के चरण में अपराध
so that you will not commit any offense to Guru
के
Vaishnavas.
संस्कार के फल से
By the samskar of many lives, previous lives, you're here. This is very nice. But if you commit any offense, then everything is destroyed. Understand?
इसलिए
That's why
बहुत सतर्कता के साथ
with so much careful, like very attention and careful, you have to do bhajan. Maya is trying to like catch you and surround you again and again in the shape of a woman or a man. What Maya is trying. Understand?
इसलिए इससे बच करके रहे
So you have to be careful
समझ में आया?
to save yourself from that.
प्रबल है
Maya is very powerful.
इसी कथा फिर नारद ऋषि कहने लगे हे
So Narada Rishi told, "Hey king,
हे युधिष्ठिर महाराज
hey Yudhishthira Maharaj, listen."
हिरण्यकशिपु के इस प्रकार उत्तर दिया तो उन्होंने प्रहलाद महाराज के पूछा अरे अभद्र
So when Hiranyakashipu received this reply from the teacher, he again addressed his son Prahlada. Hiranyakashipu said, "You rascal, most following of our family, if you have not received this education from your teachers, where have you gotten it?"
गुरु तो कहा दिया मैं हमने सिखाया ना हमें पता है तो यहाँ पर ये कह रहे हैं हिरण्यकशिपु कह रहे हैं
So Hiranyakashipu is saying,
तुम बताओ
Prahlada, tell us, if Guru didn't teach you, so where did you learn?
तुम्हारे गुरु झूठ
Tell.
बोल के नहीं बोल रहे
First tell me, is the Guru lying or not?
संडा मार को तो कहा दिया हम नहीं सिखाया
Shandamarka told that they didn't teach you that this natural something you have since you were born.
तब उस समय प्रहलाद
Then
महाराज ने क्या
Prahlada Maharaj told what?
पिता
Oh, my father.
वास्तव में कहते हैं, नहीं ये गुरु
Actually, they are not, these gurus, these two gurus, they haven't really taught me this.
संस्कार है ही नहीं
Because they don't have these samskaras. How can they teach me if they don't even have?
जो संस्कार है
Like if you have some samskara, then you can give this to the people.
नहीं है कहाँ से
If you don't have this kind of impressions and behavior and all this, you cannot teach or give this to other people.
लिख देने से थोड़ी होता है
Do you think it's only enough just writing in the Facebook? No.
संस्कार दूसरी वस्तु है
Samskar is another thing.
जन्म जन्मांतर की संस्कार
Impressions from life after life. Samskar.
मतीर्न कृष्णे परतो सतोबा मितो विपद्ये गृहव्रतानाम अदांत गोभीर्विशतांग तमिश्रं पुनः पुनश्च चोर्वित चरवनानाम प्रहलाद महाराज कह रहे हैं पिता
Prahlada Maharaj said, "Oh my father, how can these gurus give something?"
कृष्ण परतो सतोबा इनके वास्तव तो कृष्ण में मति नहीं है बुद्धि नहीं
Their mind is not in Krishna.
परतो सतोबा कुछ नहीं
Nothing.
है गृह आसक्त व्यक्ति अपने
Because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress toward the hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclinations toward Krishna are never aroused, either by the instruction of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both.
सिखाने से न तो अपने चेष्टा से और ही या नहीं दोनों संयोग से भगवान में ले सकती है प्रहलाद महाराज मति न कृष्ण परतो सतोबा मिथो पद्य गृहवतान ये जो दो संडा मर का जो गुरु
So these two gurus, Shanda and Namarka,
भी आ सकती है
they are attached to their house and family, materialistic life.
हाँ समझ
Understand?
अभी एक प्रश्न मुझे मेरा
So now I have one question. I was in Russia.
करके महाराज ये बात बताइए
Somebody asked me in Russia one thing.
यहाँ पर कुछ जो है गुरुदेव के
Maharaj,
गृहस्थ भक्त जो
some grihastha bhaktas of Gurudeva,
दे रहे हैं
they are giving Diksha Harinam here.
दे रहे हैं वो
They are giving Diksha Harinam.
चले गए
Gurudev is already gone.
अभी सब साधी ने जारे देखे तारी को हो
And Gurudeva told we should talk about Krishna to everyone and you should become Guru and deliver everyone. You know, this actually is look from Chaitanya Charitamrita.
हमें प्रश्न कर रहे हैं
So one question we are asking,
क्या ये
these people, they are Gri.
परिणाम लेना उचित है कि नहीं
Is proper to them to give Harinam a Diksha or not if they are Grihastas?
है गुरुदेव के हजारों शिष्य है
Gurudeva has 1,000 disciples.
मैंने कहा देखो
I told them, look,
2008 में और 9 में
2008 or 2009, Gurudeva had a meeting with his sannyasas. It is recorded, you can listen.
उसमें गुरुदेव ने
In
स्पष्टीकरण
this
दिया, मेरा जो सन्यासी होता है,
moment, Gurudeva said, my sannyasis can give initiation. Those who want and those who feel they're qualified, they can give initiation. Gurudeva told directly.
गृहस्थ के लिए गुरुदेव
But for Grihastha, Gurudeva didn't
नहीं कहा।
tell them to do that.
एक भी प्रश्न भी
But maybe you'll ask,
एक भी प्रश्न में क्या
oh,
स्त्रियां दे सकती कि नहीं?
the women, like women can give?
उसमें गुरुदेव भी कह रहे
Gurudeva told,
ये न मैं ये अनुमोदन नहीं करता,
I'm not giving agreement to that. I'm not agreeing to that.
केवल सन्यासी के लिए
I'm not consenting that. Only the sannyasis.
कथा की सार है।
Okay, this is the essence of what Gurudeva said. Maybe 40 or 45 minutes Gurudeva was speaking. It's recorded. If you want, I have this recording. Or this, I have. So,
गुरुदेव उतना ही कहा दिया।
Gurudeva told like this.
तो अब ये गृहस्थ जो दे रहे हैं,
So the Grihastas were giving,
चरितामृत में लिखा
because in Chaitanya Charitamrita is written,
किवा विप्र किवा नसी शूद्र के
like, doesn't matter if you're Shudra, Sannyasi, those who know about Krishna, they are gurus.
कृष्ण तत्ववेत्ता माने
Those who
यहाँ पर
Krishna Tattva Veta say Guru hoy. Like those who
कृष्ण में अनुभूति
have their mind in Krishna and they have Shastra again, they can give.
संसार से विरक्ति हो,
If those who are renounced from material things, I'm not telling anything against anyone.
हम किसी को विरोध नहीं करते,
I'm not telling against.
अपने विचार करके देखें।
You can analyze and check.
महाप्रभु के समय
Really, in the time of Mahaprabhu,
देखा गया,
we see that
जैसे वो काल जी क्या नाम था,
yesterday, what was his name?
आचार्य,
Srinivas Acharya.
वो भी गृहस्थ थे,
He was also Grihastha.
उनके पत्नी पुत्री क्या नाम है,
His daughter
हेमलता ठाकुर ने
or wife, I think daughter, Hemlata Thakur, they are also
माँ जानवी देवी,
very great. Ma Janava Devi, all these descriptions are there, they also gave.
है कि नहीं?
Isn't it?
यदि कोई अपने अधिकार से
If you have to understand your own qualification,
कर रहे हैं, उससे हमें दोष क्या बताएं?
then what is the fault?
किंतु शास्त्र विचार
But according to the conception of the Shastras,
में लिखा गया,
it's written there that
गृहस्थ अपेक्षा यदि सन्यास गुरु मिले,
if you get a sannyasi guru,
उससे मंत्र दीक्षा लेने से अधिक मंगल होता है।
it's more auspicious to get a Diksha mantra and a Harinam from a sannyasi guru than a Grihastha.
आप देख करके आपके मन में वही
Because if the Grihastha give you,
गुरु सेवा करना पड़ेगा कि नहीं पड़ेगा?
you have to serve the guru or not.
गृहस्थ गुरु के सेवा करो, गुरु के चार अच्छे जो है युवती लड़कियां हैं,
If you serve the Grihastha guru,
करते करते आपके मन विचलित हो जाए,
then the Grihastha guru has also a daughter, then maybe your mind will be disturbed when you're serving the guru. He has also a beautiful daughter like this.
इसलिए सावधान से करो,
So careful.
इसलिए
Do it careful.
विचार करके देखो, हम
Carefully.
आप निरपेक्ष विचार करके,
So let's analyze it neutral. I'm not telling, I cannot say anything against anyone. If they understand their qualification, they are giving.
दे तो उससे
But if a not qualified person is giving, then the fruit will be like opposite.
विपरीत
The fruit will be opposite of what should be. If the person is not qualified, the person who is given.
है। फिर दूसरी बात आता है,
Another point.
गृहस्थ सन्यास नहीं दे सकते, फिर
The Grihastha cannot give you sannyas.
सन्यास दे नहीं,
Like if you have your guru is Grihastha, Grihastha cannot give, a Grihastha guru cannot give you sannyas.
विचार में नहीं।
So many conceptions.
तो यहाँ पर के मतीर्न कृष्णे परतो सतोबा मिथो अभिपद्ये गृह व्रतानाम अदांत गोभी विश्वतां तमिश्रम पुनः पुनश्च चर्वित चर्वनानाम, जो लोग कृष्ण में मति नहीं है,
Those who don't have their mind in Krishna, those who have
भजन नहीं करते,
not doing Bhagavad Bhajan, like enjoying and materialist,
वस्तु के पुनः पुनः चबा करके खा,
they're like chewing what have already been chewed. They're chewing the chewed.
तो ये बुद्धि हमें कैसे दे रहे?
So how can they give us this kind of intelligence to worship God if themselves they are caught in materialist life and overtaken by lust, anger, pride and all this? How can they give you this to us if themselves they don't have it?
मिथो अभिपद्ये
The shloka is explaining.
गृह व्रतानाम, जो सही गृह के
If he himself, he's in the Griha Vrat, means he's a Griha Medi, he's thinking his materialistic life is all in all. How then can he give this spiritual knowledge Gobi means senses.
बलशाली इंद्रिय
He's
जो
controlled by the senses,
वशीभूत कर लेता है।
uncontrolled senses. He cannot control his own senses.
सैन अंध
Sorry. So he is
नरक में पड़े
blind and he's in the hellish life.
हैं, वो दूसरे के कैसे उद्धार करेंगे?
How can he deliver to others then?
हैं? इसलिए कहते हैं मतीर्न कृष्णे परतो सतोबा मिथो विपद्येद गृहवतानाम पदांत गोभी विशतांग तमिश्रम पुनः पुनश्च चर्वित चरवाना। केवल विद्या शास्त्र ज्ञान कर लिया इसलिए कहते हैं मैं दीक्षा दी, ऐसे नहीं होता।
So you cannot say, oh, I'm giving diksha just because I learned the shastra. These are external symptoms, like to know the scriptures.
लक्षण क्या है?
But what are the internal symptoms to be able to give it initiation? You have to have a realization of Lord, and
भगवान में जब तक अनुभूति, भगवत में अनुभूति
you have to realize, have realized God. If you haven't realized Him, you cannot give initiation.
तस्मात् गुरुम प्रपद्ये जिज्ञासु से उत्तम शब्दे परिचय निष्णातम ब्रह्मण उपशमास्त्र। शास्त्रविद तत्वविद,
You must know all the shastra and tattva.
शास्त्रविद तत्वविद होने
Not
से
only that, to be guru, not only that, you have to know the shastra, yes, but also
क्या
more.
होनी चाहिए?
At the same time, you also need to have bhagavat
अनुभूति समझ
anubhuti. You must realization of God.
अनुभूति हो,
If you have realization anubhuti, then yes,
तब
then
उससे
you
संभव है।
it's possible for you to be a
शास्त्र तो
guru.
पढ़ कर जिसके बहुत
Okay, those who have sharp brain, they can study the shastra and they know a lot. I've listened that, I heard.
नाम सुना।
Have you heard about Vivekananda?
हम तो बंगाली लोग
I am Bengali.
में आकर उनको गाली देते हैं विवेकानंद।
So here in the Gaudiya Mata, we insult Vivekananda
समझ में?
generally.
कहने वाला वो दूसरी बात है। विवेक माने बुद्धि।
Vivek means buddhi, intelligence.
बंगाली लोग
But the Bengalis, why the Bengalis, they esteem, put like have Vivekananda in high esteem,
नहीं करें बात ये नहीं करें।
like they praise him so much. I'm not trying to be against or anything, but what happened?
ही बुद्धि
His intelligence is really
इंग्लिश का।
so 700 pages.
केवल ऐसे अलमारी में लिया ऐसे
He took from the wardrobe, from the cupboard, took one book, 700 pages, one book. He just like little bit saw the pages and he read. Have you read the book? Yes. Vivekananda, his intelligence was so sharp.
पृष्ठा से कोई भी प्रश्न
Okay, you can ask me any question from any page of this book. Immediately he used to tell. So he was so intelligent like this, his mind. He was reading like this.
बुद्धि है भाई,
So-
जिसको जो गुण है तो बोलना पड़ेगा।
So if somebody has some quality, we have to speak. Because here in Gaudiya Mata,
हैं?
we should not criticize. That's why his name was given Vivek Ananda. Vivek means buddhi, intelligence.
भाई ये भी बुद्धि है। हम भक्ति राज्य में आने के विचार नहीं कर रहे हैं। एक
So very quickly he read this book of 700 pages. So I'm not talking about the conception of bhakti, but normal people
इसलिए कहते हैं
conception. Like you see how he read the book like this.
यथार्थ अमल।
But in bhakti we discuss, oh, maybe
उन्होंने उनके हम
he could not really get the meaning of the scriptures. That's why the Vaishnava speaks so much against Vivekananda. Because the meaning of the Shastras is Bhagavad Bhakti, Bhakti to God. And Vivekananda
रियलाइज नहीं
didn't realize Bhagavad Bhakti. That's why what Vivekananda tell, what did he say?
करके क्या होगा?
What is the benefit of watering the tulsi plants? You should better you water one eggplant plants.
क्या होगा?
What was the benefit to chant holy names? Just play football and make your body healthy and strong. He was saying like this.
शरीर अच्छा रहेगा।
You have to make your body healthy and be fit.
ये क्या है? ये जड़ विद्या।
So this is Jaravidya, like material knowledge, you know.
हम गौड़ीय वैष्णव के नाते
So because we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, that's why we speak against this.
महारानी है।
Tulasi is Maharani, you know.
भागवत में लिखा है
The Bhagavata explains that Tulasi is Krishna Priya, so dear. Achyuta Priya, Tulasi is Achyuta Priya. Achyuta means Bhagavan Krishna.
भगवान उससे कभी
Like
बिछोड़ते नहीं।
she's always with Bhagavan and so dear to God.
क्या की?
So Tulasi. So this Tulasi Devi, he has like a dishonored
इसके बारे में कुछ ज्ञान नहीं है।
her, so he doesn't know anything about Bhakti, Vivekananda.
इतने विद्वान होते हैं,
So even though he was so learned and scholar and so like a sharp intelligence, he's a foolish person.
यही तो होता है।
This is what happens.
हैं? तो कोई साधारण नहीं थे।
So he was not ordinary.
इतिहास हम तो
If you,
कॉलेज में पढ़े।
in my school and college, I have studied his life history.
बंगाली जितने बंगाली लोग
All the Bengalis people,
पढ़ाया जाता है।
they always study his life history in the school. Everyone in these Bengali schools, we learn about him in school.
क्यों भौतिक जगत की है?
This is material. He's a very important person in material life, material world. He went to America. He like impressed all the Americans, impressed all of them so much, and he like really was a revolution like this in America. Like, but this is material point of view. But for us, in my spiritual point of view, he's zero for us, zero. So if some person has nice intelligence and sharp mind, should not think that the person is great and exalted just because of that. You know, to speak is just a matter of eloquency. Like to speak is just an art. Like maybe the person speaks very nicely, like eloquent and like this. There was a boy from ISKCON. What is his name? When he gives lecture, everybody's laughing, and even great people are there sitting in. What is his name? He's a brahmachari from ISKCON. He has so much art of speaking so well. Like he's so eloquent, and you can see on YouTube his videos. Every 2 minutes, he makes everyone laughs. And if he's speaking for 2 hours, not even one person stands up to leave in the middle. So he has such an art of speaking so well. He's not laughing when he's speaking, but he makes everyone laugh with his speech. So I make others laugh because I'm laughing also. But I saw that he makes everyone laugh without laughing himself. So you can see on YouTube, he speaks English in such a way also. Some people, they have the art of speaking, you can see. And when he speaks English, he speaks very nice English words and very... And he... I think it was like making jokes with the language. Like a Nico or something. I think maybe making jokes with the words like this. So you can see this boy, and so many people came. You can see in YouTube. He has so much art of speaking. He speaks so well, and he's speaking normal things, ordinary things. So what I want to say, some people, God gave talents, some arts to special people, art of speak. You can see on YouTube. Gaur Gopal Brahmachari. So his name is Gaur Gopal Brahmachari. He's speaking like ordinary things like this also, but he speaks so well. So he has the art of speaking. So God gave him this potency. But I didn't have his association, so I don't really know how much bhakti he has or anything. But how he attracts and makes everybody concentrate in his speech. He doesn't allow anyone to go in his katha because he's attracting everyone, keeping everyone so fixed in him and like this. He speaks in English. Everybody's laughing. The people laugh so much, so much. You cannot even go away from his katha, like you want to stay there. It's like a talent. Some people, they have very high intelligence, like I told about Swami Vivekananda. I read one shloka, I forget. But he read 700 pages in English at once. And he immediately started speaking what he read for 1 hour. So that's why, so in materialistic persons become impressed by that, of course. So you know, materialistic people, they become impressed by materialistic katha. So you see all the best speakers of the Bhagavatam. The more you speak material topics to the people, the more the people become attracted. I've listened many people speak this Bhagavatam and everything. You can see on YouTube. They are not actually speaking Bhagavad Katha, nothing. They just read one slok of Bhagavatam. Later they are speaking things of house and material things. But they speak so well, these things. I'm speaking spiritual things. The Gurudev Katha, like this. But their katha has no spirituality. They're speaking only materialistic things.
किंतु वो
If I'm speaking, nobody will listen. But they speak so well.
देखो कैसे, इसलिए इसमें जो हम इसलिए जोड़ रहे हैं इस कथा को.
So I'm linking this katha because
गुरु के 3 लक्षण बता
so
रहे हैं.
3 symptoms of someone who is a guru.
तस्मात् गुरुं प्रपद्ये जिज्ञासु श्रेय उत्तमम्. शब्द ब्रह्म और पर ब्रह्म में निष्णात और वैराग्य परायण.
So the person 3 symptoms. So the symptoms of guru, this shloka explains.
क्या होनी चाहिए?
The guru should be what? Shabda Brahma, means he knows all the scriptures, he realizes God, and he is renounced. So the guru must have the 3 symptoms. But if the person has Shastra Gyan, knowledge of the scriptures, but doesn't have realization of God, then not possible to be guru. The person maybe is renounced, understand, and has Shastra Gyan, but he doesn't have realization of God, doesn't have realization. Shastra explains he cannot be guru also. He's not qualified to be guru.
क्योंकि परब्रह्म में एक क्या बोले शास्त्र ज्ञान तो किसी को हो जाता है. जैसे मैंने कहा उदाहरण दिया स्वामी विवेकानंद, उदाहरण देते हैं.
So I give the example of Swami Vivekananda. He also would quote the Vedanta Sutra and the Shastra. Maybe he would give another interpretation of another meaning of the Shastra. But he also used to quote the Shastras, Swami Vivekananda.
शंकराचार्य ने 4 महावाक्य कह दिया.
Shankaracharya, 4 Mahavakyas.
अहं ब्रह्मास्मि प्रज्ञानं ब्रह्म और
Aham Brahmasmi Prajna Brahmam, the 4 Mahavakyas.
तत्त्वमसि और एक क्या दिया गया?
Tatamasi, and one more. Sarvam Kalidam Brahma.
4 महावाक्यों के ऊपर देखो शंकराचार्य की व्याख्या के ऊपर हमारे चैतन्य
So you see,
महाप्रभु भी सुनी श्लोक के ऊपर व्याख्या कर दिया.
so beautiful explanation about the Mahavakya connected with the Trinada Pisunichana.
भक्ति के साथ और लोग
Generally, this looks like against Bhakti, the Mahavakya, but how Gurudeva, Srila Maharaj established this relating to Trinada Pisunichana. So one thing is I am Brahma, another Trinada Pisunich. I was maybe 3-4 days only speaking about that.
वो भी हमारे कथा नहीं है, हमारे गुरु पाद पद्म.
This is not my katha, actually Gurupada Padma.
इसके ऊपर सुंदर रूप में व्याख्या की.
He described it so well.
अहं ब्रह्मास्मि और त्रिनादपि सुनिच.
Aham Brahmasmi and Trinada Pisunich. I am Brahma.
ये तो विरोधाभास हो जाता है. जीव कभी
This looks like against, because the jiva can never become Brahma.
किंतु हमारे गुरु पाद त्रिनादि चैतन्य महा.
But our Gurupada Padma,
शास्त्र के 3 श्लोक त्रिनादि
he connected this, related this to the 3rd shloka of Shikshastra Trinada Pisunichana. So beautiful explanation.
पारमार्थिक राज्य में यही होता है, ज्ञान के द्वारा नहीं होता है.
So in the spiritual realm, knowledge is not important as realization. It's not as important as realization. Knowledge will not do. Like you need the realization. You must have realization. If you go to Haridwar and other places, there are many Mayavadis sitting there. They are ready with all the Panini Vyakaran. I mean, they have so much. They are fixing the Sanskrit grammar. In 1 second, they will destroy you in these debates. Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Pada are different, but for us, it's so difficult to argue with them, debate, because they will take you with the Sanskrit grammar and you're conquered, defeated by them. So they'll tell you some sutra from Panini Vyakara, and they have 1,000 followers. They'll start clapping, and then they will shut you up. You cannot do anything against his logic and his. So many like this knowledge, learned and scholars. So only knowledge is not enough. You see Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and also Mahaprabhu and Prakashananda Saraswati. So they were great pandits. So also, so I saw Gurudeva in the celebration of 500 years of appearance of Mahaprabhu in Navadipadam. There was a great assembly with many. and scholar people.
सारे पंडित लोग सब बोलना शुरू कर
And the Pandits started speaking.
अंत में गुरुदेव बस
Gurudev spoke in the
जो
end.
शब्द है, गुरुदेव बहुत दीनहीन होकर
Gurudev
बोले
spoke so
बोले
humbly.
मैं तो
Gurudev
संस्कृत पढ़ी
told,
नहीं
I never studied Sanskrit.
मेरा
Gurudev
कोई
told,
विद्वान नहीं
I don't know have any knowledge.
है बोले उतना ही है मैं गुरुदेव की
I just know what
सेवा किया
I've
गुरुदेव की कुछ मैं
I took from when I served Gurudeva and I surrendered to Gurudeva. I'll just speak 2 words. Actually, Gurudev spoke for 1 hour. And when Gurudev was describing this Anarpita Charinchirat, when Gurudev spoke about Anarpita Charinchirat, I remember. Even great Panditas of Navadvipa, they were like impressed and amazed, astonished. Listening to the explanation of this shloka, everybody became like stunned. What is this shloka? Radha Sudhanidya, what? Gurudev connected, linked this shloka with many other shlokas, and Gurudev gave us such amazing explanation. All these Panditas in the end, they came and they praised Gurudeva so much, they praised Gurudeva after that. Gurudeva himself used to say, Gurudeva said, I never studied Sanskrit. I didn't study Sanskrit before coming here. I didn't study Sanskrit before coming here, so I don't know exactly, I forgot now, how much Gurudev studied. I think high school, Gurudev, he finished only high school. But this is the strength of Bhakti. By the Bhakti, he knew everything. He got to know everything. Like, you know, all the knowledge. So, speciality of Bhakti.
नते विदुषार्थं गतिं विष्णु दुराशय जे बहिरर्थमानिनम् अंधा जथन्य उपनीयमाना स्ते विसंत्र उरुदाम निबद्धा नते विदुषार्थं गतिं विष्णु जिन्होंने इंद्रियों के द्वारा दृष्ट विषय भोग के केंद्र बिंदु मानकर बाह्य विषय में आसक्त
persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life and who have therefore accepted as their leader or guru a similar blind man attached to external sense objects cannot understand that the goal of life is to return home back to Godhead and engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. As a blind man guided by another blind man miss the right path and fall into a ditch, materially attached men led by another materially attached man, are bound by the ropes of fruitive labor, which are made of very strong cords, and they continue again and again in materialistic life, suffering the threefold miseries. Prepare the arati.
Arjuna वेद में भी ऐसी कहा जैसे अधिकारी व्यक्ति उसके निकट बोलते
Vedas explain like different things according to different kinds of people. It's written in the Vedas.
वेद में 3 है
there are like 3 tattvas in the Vedas: Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and another Upasana Kanda, also called Bhakti Kanda. So Upasana is divided into 2. One, the Upasana, worship of the demigods and demigoddesses, and another Krishna Upasana, worship of Krishna. So 3 Kandas, 3 stages in the Vedas: Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda, also called Bhakti Kanda. So Upasana Kanda is divided into 2. Many people, they worship demigods and demigoddesses because of their material desires. Like Bhagavad Gita explains. Why people, they worship demigods and demigoddesses? Because they have so many material desires and they didn't know which thing is beneficial for them and not beneficial. They don't really know. So that's why they worship demigods and demigoddesses. Okay. Light the lamp. So you should memorize these 2 slokas.
अन्य देव देवी के उपासना।
So to worship demigods, demigoddesses is not karma kanda. Gurudev is saying no. Karma kanda is another thing. Like it's worship demigods, like worship Shiva, worship Durga.
देवताओं के पूजन आदि होते हैं,
To worship
देवता के पूजा आदि।
the gods.
कर्मकांड उसे कहते हैं अपने
Karma kanda is when you want something to fulfill your
मनंद्र के
desires and to something for your body and mind. This is karma kanda.
उपासना निष्काम है, निष्काम में करे तो देवता की उपासना वही देवता आपके जो भगवान।
So if you worship the gods, the demigods without desire, nishkam, they will bring you to Krishna. Like the Govinda Das from Bhajaruhe Mana, he was worshipping Devi, and Devi told him, you worship Krishna, because actually he asked her for mukti, and she told him, I cannot give you mukti, only mukunda, Krishna can give. So if we one-pointed devotion and without desires, you worship demigods, these demigods will bring you to Krishna.